Welcome back to a new episode of Gus Talks Wrestling. And since this past weekend there was so much wrestling, there's a lot to talk about. And I'm going to do three separate episodes about it, and this is the first one. And this one is all about the PLE NXT Great American Bash. In my own opinion, this one was actually pretty good. There was 5 matches and 1 contract signing. So let's talk about those. First up, we have Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. I really liked this match. I felt like it had a pretty good setup and everything. It made sense. And honestly, I really liked the chemistry between these two because you have Javon, who's pretty much all over the ring, and then Jasper, who's just, as Booker T says, a monster, who is very strong and also very athletic, though. I think it was the right move to have Javon win this, though, mainly due to the fact that Jasper is still kind of new to this. Now, mind you, it seems like they're going to give him a push pretty fast, but I don't want it to be too fast. Give him a little bit of time to cook. I mean, if anything, Tyra May Steele is a prime example of this. She won LFG for the women's side. They brought her on for like 1 match on NXT. It did not go great. And now she's been downgraded to Evolve for the time being. I still am annoyed because I think it should have been Xena who actually won that, but we'll see. I think Tyra can still do something and use this time to become better, but I'm still waiting. So at least in my opinion, I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5. Next up, we have Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame for the Women's North American Championship. This was actually a pretty decent match. Nothing special, but still a very good match. And of course, you had some interference by both Zarya and Tatum Paxley, which I do kind of like the idea of Tatum now being a part of the culling. So we'll see where that goes from here. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Next up, we have for the NXT Men's North American Championship, the Falls Count Anywhere match between Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. This one was so good, in my opinion. They were just destroying each other all over the ring, out into the audience, just anywhere they could go. I really enjoyed this one, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Due to the pseudo interference of Jasper Troy during this match, I think there's every possibility that if the Javon Evans thing is done for right now, that it might end up being Ricky Saints versus Jasper Troy in the near future. Next, we have the contract signing for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship of Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry versus Mike Santana. This is a match I think is going to be really good at Slammiversary, but I'll be honest, due to the fact that 2 out of the 3 of these guys are from TNA, I was not all that happy with this because I felt like this should have been something that happened on an episode of TNA. Just, I don't know. I feel like sometimes WWE really takes it too far with how much control they have over what's happening with TNA. So we'll see. But like I said, this was not a bad interaction. It was pretty good. But in general, I'll give this segment a 3 out of 5. One more thing involving this, I actually do hope that either Joe Hendry or Mike Santana wins the title at Slammiversary, just because I think it's been long enough now where TNA should have their title back. And this could be a good opportunity to move Trick Williams up to the main roster. Maybe put him back together with Carmelo Hayes since they're both heels right now. Then we had Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura. I really enjoyed this match, and I do have to say this, when it comes to Inamura, I didn't like him when he first showed up, but he has really ingratiated himself to me. Like I I really want to see him go places now and move up further into WWE because he's just so weirdly likable. Now, the match was very good between these two, but I got to be honest, I was really annoyed with Josh Briggs. Not because he got involved or there was interference from him. That was going to happen. Like everyone knew it, but I don't know, there was something about the way that he did it that it just felt so like over the top and maybe not believable, and it just, I don't know, it really just got to me. And obviously it feels like this is going to be leading to an Inamura Briggs match eventually, but I don't know, because of that I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. One other thing I just want to mention is how happy I am with the chances that NXT is making recently. I mean, you had Obafemi versus Miles Bourne, and now versus Inamura, and now you even have JC Jane as the women's champion. This is really interesting to see where they go from here and what kind of things they're willing to give a try, or what people they're willing to give a chance to. And then, of course, there was the main event tag team match of Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Now, obviously, there was going to be some interference by Jasmine Nix, but in general, this was a pretty good match. I do have to say, my only gripe with it is that I feel like Blake Monroe did not get enough of a chance to really shine or showcase her abilities. But we'll see what she does in the future here. So I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. So all in all, I really did like this PLE. I thought it had some great storylines. It had some good progression to everything. And in total, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So what do all of you think? Do you agree with my opinions? Do you disagree with them? Let me know what you thought about this PLE in the comments.